Yeah, you guys need to catch up?
Shoot the shit.
Yeah.
How does that work? How does that work? You really need to shoot the shit?
Of course. I'm invested in my friend's life. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And likewise, is that what humans do? Like we're in a fucking petri dish.
You really need to know more?
There's always new stuff to learn.
I'd like to be up to date. Yeah. I've been busy the past few weeks. We've been wrapping up the season. I've been out of town, so I haven't had a chance to,
Right.
All
right. Let me know how it goes.
Take a page out of Q's book. Maybe me and you'll hang out one day.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Wait a second.
Hey, so apparently I'm breaking in because Declan has alerted me that we had an ad placed too close to the end of the episode when we recorded this last week, and regulations say that all ads must be placed before at least 12 minutes before the end of the show. So and it's kind of a blessing in disguise because I want to apologize. I was very low energy. I sounded very annoyed when we recorded this. That was last week. I felt bad. I didn't, so now I'm being able to step in now and rescue this episode, really makes me feel good because Declan said, we won't be able to use this episode because the ad was at the tail end of the episode. And like I said, I didn't even know there were regulations that demanded that there'd be certain spacing between ads and end of shows. But now that I know.
With a stopwatch?
And Git'em sitting here. He's also here to help rescue this episode of TSD. I'm not even sure if that episode was worthy of being rescued. I can't remember anything we even talked about. I was out of sorts that day. Lots was going on, but again, to be able to step in and save this episode really makes me feel good.
Discuss what happened?
Discuss what happened when?
Well, that's why you were so down. That you found out that someone threw away something that you...
Oh, no, I don't want to... No, we don't air... That's one thing, though. I don't like to air dirty laundry anymore. At least not on TSD. I'm sure you hear it. You bared the full brunt of that one, right?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't off. The one day of the week I was off. And you come in and said, well, where is this? I said, well, I put it there. You're like, where is it now? And I'm like, I don't know. So I ran upstairs. I tried to find it. I stared at the dumpster. The dumpster was empty. And then you were like, well, we might have to go into the dumpster. I'm like, I went in the dumpster. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. To make a long story short, I don't even know if that's really, I was just zonked, that day we recorded this episode of Tell 'em Steve Dave. And, I want to apologize to Q and Brian and the listeners for, having such a shitty attitude that day. But life, it's funny how life, works its way out. Here I am now saving and being able to, help release this episode of Tell 'em Steve Dave due to the placement of the ads so close to the end. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left to fill that void now. Let me talk to you about, you've been now here at the stash officially over a year now.
Yes, officially over a year.
Can you tell me how you digging it and any thoughts, anything that first, just your state of mind now that after being on the job for a year.
It is a lot different than it was at the beginning. I mean, I started during filming, and we're currently back into the filming phase of work, and it does change every year. It's tough to go from filming to non-filming and then back to filming because it's so much tougher it's tougher to stock the store when you're filming. Because everybody comes in during filming breaks and they buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then we start filming again, and because the store is the background for what we're filming, they can't see me in the background like stocking stuff.
Wow, I can't believe that we waited a year to hear that scintillating story about how hard it is to stock while cameras may be up. Again, we're at 8 minutes left, and we are, then we'll be able to end this little mini podcast within a podcast. So we've heard from Git'em about how difficult it is for him to restock the store while filming is going on. I thought that he'd have a little bit more broader feelings on being on the job for a year, but apparently he went right for as boring and uninteresting an anecdote as possible about being on the job for a year.
Well, I could have went into answering all the phone calls about. But there's another one. I'm sure it's Bill again.
Okay, so we're at almost 5 minutes here. Yeah, 7 minutes left.
Why don't you just read them the countdown? Be like 99 bottles of beer on a Walt endurance test, if you will. Here's Walt counting. Ooh, down.
How about this, Kim? Do you like? Because people have mentioned this. Do you like TV when it's during TV season, Walt, or do you like off season Walt? Which Walt do you prefer?
I think I want to say I prefer off-season Walt because on-season Walt tries to cram 3 hours worth of work into 5 minutes because he remembers stuff while he's filming, and then as soon as he's done, okay, I need you to do this, and first I need you to do this. And meanwhile, I'm trying to ring people up, and he's like, okay, here's the 10 things I need you to do. I'm gonna go get a slice, and.
Yeah, because I know you are put upon. When I'm over there filming, I look over and I see you catching Pokemon. I realize that it's difficult for you to then all of a sudden be like, "Hey, I need you to do something," and I understand that that's pretty harsh of me to request you do things when I remember that they need to get done, and I'll work on that. Git'em.
No, it's not that. It's that you request me, you require me, you ask me to do things that require me to use the other computer, the computer that's behind the show counter that you're currently filming at. So I have to do like this roundabout way of VNCing into the computer to try to do stuff, and it's not easy as when I have the computer to work at by itself. Because that's where the phone that Mr. Kodak himself invented is tied to, and that's where it uploads all the photos. So and where it scans all the things that you asked me to scan. So
wow, can you believe it's even more boring than his inability to stock while filming is going on? Okay, we're at 7 minutes. 5 minutes left. I'm sure that this has helped this episode and you want to stick around for ads and everything.
Couldn't Declan have just tacked on like 12 minutes worth of songs?
He already thought of that, and that was not an option.
Wow, the FCC. Like, Declan, he can't do this. He's like, oh, but I have to.
All right.
We're now at 8 minutes.
No, not even 8 minutes yet. What can we talk about for the last 4 minutes?
Well, I know I postulated to the other day that I said I think the NFL in general is going to start winding down as America's pastime because of the big news of number one, Viagra and Cialis are no longer advertising on the NFL, and also the chronic. They found that 119 out of 120 ex-NFL players who were autopsied had that chronic concussion disease, and they found out it can be if you just play in high school, you can suffer all the same symptoms and brain injuries. And I think it's going to push a lot of parents away from having their kids play even Pop Warner and high school football, which will eventually affect the NFL.
It's possible. I think we're not in our lifetime. I don't think we'll see the NFL ever truly be affected in terms of interest or. I know people will be like, though, there's definitely already it's been affected by interest because they've changed the rules and.
I'm not going to say interest because I think that we're still be interested. I just think that the pool of players who are going to be
because you're going to have athletes who are talented. Maybe they'll be pushed into other sports that are a lot less dangerous.
A lot of NFL players, in high school, whenever played other sports when they weren't playing football. So I think they'll be more going towards sports where they don't have as many injuries, and that could increase their pool of applicants, which actually might increase some other sports, down the way.
And there you go. obviously everybody was hanging on by the edge of their seats waiting for Git'em to weigh in on the NFL's huge problem of brain injuries. And now that he has weighed in, I'm sure the NFL has shuddered upon hearing such a harsh outlook that Git'em has predicted for Goodell and the NFL. All right, so
I'm sure I'll catch a lot of shit for not knowing exactly what I'm talking about or claiming that I do.
Oh, okay. That obviously,
10 seconds.
Git'em has been reading online comments again about his knowledge and his or lack of knowledge. About 10 minutes so far into this, only 2 minutes left. We're at the final 2 minutes. How about a speed round of just any kind of topics? We both mentioned we were catching up on Columbo over the weekend. I've been devouring Columbos. And I still feel that it may be the greatest cop series where a cop never shot a gun or had a fist fight.
I agree. It's one of the most least violent of police shows, but I do disagree with you that he was autistic as much as you are a proponent to it, because in the show I've even pointed out that a psychiatrist points out to Columbo that it's all an act just to disarm people and allow them to trip up and fall into Columbo's trap, as it were. He's devious with his schemes.
Again, wow. I mean, more scintillating, absolutely cutting edge analysis from Git'em Steve Dave regarding the NFL and a 40-year-old television series. We are at 11 minutes and 10 seconds. And I apologize for this little interruption to the podcast. It won't happen again. Now that we know the rules, we will adhere to them, and we won't be making the same mistake twice. And I would like to thank
and not punish the listeners.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it a punishment. I would call it just a little added bonus. Unexpected Git'em is always, I guess, the best kind of Git'em.
That's not what you say.
No. Well, I'm in a better mood than I was. We're not filming today, so I wish the guys were down today recording Tell 'em Steve Dave. Would have been a lot more energetic then. But again, I think everybody has an off game, even Tom Brady.
Yes.
He doesn't win the Super Bowl every week, does he?
If he could, he would.
And we're at 12 minutes, so we're back to our regular scheduled podcast.